that, Geru? Hey, hi everyone! All of my collab dreams are coming true! Wow! This video is gonna be a collab between me and 3 other artists. During this video, we are going to explain what's happening in our head when we sketch, how we attempt to do the draw, the sketcheroo. This is very exciting to me because sketching to me is so cool. I love seeing the process of other people. It looks so artsy and fun. So I am super into this video and I hope you will enjoy it a little bit too. I will leave the floor to my lovely artist buddies now, and we are going to see each other near the end of this video again. Bye bye.
Hi, my name is Agnes. My artist's name is Gentletrees. I've been drawing since, I'd say, 2010. I'm mostly working digitally, sometimes traditionally. I sketch a lot traditionally, but for finished pieces, I find it easier to do this on the computer. When I'm making a sketch, the level of detail usually depends on what I'm gonna use the sketch for. If I'm planning on using the sketch to paint over it, I'm just gonna do it really rough because I'll paint over it anyway, and it's not gonna be that important or that impactful. I just have to know where everything's gonna be. But if I'm planning on inking it, I need much more precision because I don't know, I find it really hard to keep in mind that I have to vary the line width and also have the lines in the right place at the same time. It's just a lot less forgiving, I think. For this sketch I did kind of an in-between between these two modes. I also try to keep in mind that I can always redo everything again and that it's okay to erase everything. You can see me noodling around with the hand a lot, and I thought it was alright, but it actually looked really weird, especially in context with the rest of the body. So close to the end I just erased the whole thing because it was only getting different but not better. This is actually the first time that I'm seeing myself recorded and how I actually draw, because I didn't think that I used that many small lines and do this back and forth all the time, but I seem to be very keen on that. But still, I do quite like the end result. I think there's some sort of magic that a sketch has that can easily get lost when you're trying to line over it. Some sort of energy that is very hard to describe and very hard to translate into the final image. It's really cool. That's why I like sketches so much. Maybe that's the result of not having that much pressure on yourself, and since it's just a sketch and you can easily throw it away or whatever, or draw over it. I feel like this effect is even stronger with hand-drawn stuff. At least for me, I think it's very easy to just let your hand do whatever it wants without the mind interfering too much. I usually start with drawing the head. I think most people start with drawing the head. Sometimes I start with the eyes, but that's not very recommended. It does sometimes yield good results, but most of the time it's not that reliable. and I work myself down to the feet. I tend to have most difficulties with knees and elbows. That's probably the most difficult. And shoulders aren't easy either. Actually, all the joints. Just all the joints. But I still don't use many references. I do keep a tiny mirror right next to my drawing station. Just so I can check angles and facial expressions and yeah, where is the nose placed and how do teeth work? I don't know, just basic stuff.
Hello, I go by Geleekinder or Geleekinder. Either one is fine with me. I was invited to do this collab and I have to say stuff about myself. So I like drawing mostly girls and that's basically it. Or food, but I haven't drawn food in a while. Trying to draw food to look as realistic as possible is my favorite thing in the world. I'm not great at it, but I still enjoy doing it. Alright, this is like my 1000th time trying to record this. Kept getting messages from Discord, so I kept making the bleeping noise, and so I muted a chat, then someone else messaged me privately, so it was doing the bleeping noise again, so I exited Discord. Screw that. But yeah, my sketches aren't very nice. I know some people have like nice pretty sketches or anything, but mine are very ugly and very scribbly because I'm trying to get an idea down. I'm not really trying to make it look good. I usually start out with like basic shapes for the body so that I kind of have an idea of the proportions and where things should go. I tend to draw people with smaller proportions, probably because I am a small person, so I guess in many times using myself as a reference, it kind of just stuck on me that I draw everyone with smaller than average proportions. I also don't think too much about the anatomy. Like, yes, I do kind of map things out so I know where to put things, like I know where the arm goes, but not really going for accuracy yet. I will have a photo reference later on so that I can get the anatomy correct, as I can see there's a couple of things wrong with it right now. But if I were to fix it, I would like want a reference so that I know that I'm getting it right, because I don't want to work on it and then have the anatomy be wrong and just waste hours of my life. I also like to think a lot about, oh, what do I want her to wear? Most times when I draw things, I just draw girls wearing, I don't know, pink outfits. I don't know, I'm not a very creative person. I basically draw the same things over and over again. So I know for her shoes, I wanted to have her wear creepers, so I was making sure like the foot fits inside the shoe, that I'm not making the shoe very flexible, because yeah, your foot can bend a lot, but creepers have thick soles, so I think it would make bending it impossible unless you want to break the shoe. I also realized that that leggy was shorter, that I put the head too high when I did that change. I wanted to draw her in overalls with like a baggy sweater, or like these baggy sleeves, I guess. I don't know, the idea in my head, it looked cute. Just like putting buns seemed like a good idea at the time, or rather like a cute thing, but I don't know, it doesn't look cute to me, so I'll probably have to change that. I'm so sorry, this is really boring. I have no idea what to say about my sketching process because it's literally just stick figure, put some shapes so that it looks like a body, kind of. Lightly think of the outfit. Because after this, I will usually sketch some more. I know the anatomy is off, so I would definitely have to get a reference to fix that. I would make things more clearer, like the shoes and the clothes and the hair and the basically everything. But in my initial sketch, I just make a very, very ugly, scribbly stick figure. And I would have showed more of the other process, but that would have taken me like 3 years to finish, because I don't finish anything because I'm a very slow artist. And yeah, I'm sorry if this wasn't very helpful or entertaining. It was really hard to try to think of something to say about sketching, which is the part that I usually don't think about at all. Bye.
Hey guys, I'm Q. I'm an illustrator from Germany and I love to do character design and comic and have a lot of projects. And I usually work with digital and traditional art both, so here's my sketch. So my sketch is going to be my original character Springfall, who is the personification of spring and fall. And as you can see, I usually start with a bubble head, drawing a circle and just getting a little bit of a feel for what kind of pose I want to draw her in. And I decided to draw a little older version of her. She's a pretty conflicted character, so she has her own devices what she wants to be drawn like. So yeah, I start with the eyes and the shape of the head and all the other parts that belong to that. And as soon as I get the proportions kind of right, I start with the hair, and she got curly hairs on one side and braids on the other, and the gradient through her hair from pastel pink to red and dark brownish hair, which is on the side of the braids, which is happening after I've drawn in her marks on her face. She got a little bit of the conflict inside of her in regard to having to deal with her powers of both spring and fall, kinda manifested in her skin. And there should be the braids coming in soon, and I just kinda go for it, which happens. And there are the eyes, and I try to personify those, just really rough sketch of what I'm doing. Yeah, and now I'm starting on the pose. So I usually go with my gut, so depending on what I want to show, if I've planned it before or I'm going to just experiment with what I want. Most of the time I don't know what I want when I started a sketch, or well, half of the time, let's say. And I go experimenting with poses, and here was relatively clear, so it's gonna be a sitting pose, and she'll play a little with her powers on one side. And I've been trying to get a feel for her, for the dress she's wearing. That's one that I'll be trying to put together here, which was the original idea I had for this sketch. Yeah, and then I go further with the rough lines for the proportions of her body, and here are the first starts of part of her dress, which is a vest and bodice, and here comes the body for her legs and the first version of her second leg, which is gonna change. So, and it's completely okay to later on change how she's looking in her face. Usually I'm changing that a lot, because you're allowed to, and I'm allowing myself to do that. Yeah, and second feet, and now the dress gets a little more detail. And yeah, there's not that much more. I hope it's been interesting for you to watch. I like to shadow and put a little bit of shadow and yeah, contrast into sketches, just because it makes them more interesting. And I'm probably gonna work on this one, clean it up, the lines later on, and then I'll be dealing with the colors, which I'm always struggling with. The sketch turns out good. I'm usually gonna struggle with the colors. So thank you for watching, and that's about it. Bye!
Hey, it's your friendly monster Geru, or Geru, depending on how you choose to pronounce it. We have come full circle, you're back at my voice again. I'm one of those awful millennials from the Europe, Germany, and I mostly like drawing girls and like using poppy colors. I love styles that seem like manga and cartoon hybrids, and my top priority in art is that it is my hobby, and it has to be fun. My sketching is shockingly simple, or maybe appropriately simple, since my reason to do art the way I like my art and me as a person are all very simple. This sketch took me 8 minutes. I'm quite fast if it's an easy subject, but I also am drawing with a monitor tablet, which makes everything pretty speedy. If I had to break down things that are vital to my sketching process, the first thing would be that I use a big brush, usually textured. Second is that I also use the transform tool a lot. I should just be zooming out, but I always use the transform tool instead. Only heaven knows why, but it helps seeing my art all tiny and ant-like in the middle of the canvas with lots of white space around it. Third big thing is that I keep the sketch itself harsh and simple, similar to my line art in the end. Due to that, I never get disappointed with my sketch looking better than the finished art piece. I always envied people with a sketchy and artsy, fragile-looking sketch style though. The fourth thing is that I use different colors when the lines overlap instead of erasing what's underneath. I guess the fifth thing would be that I don't sketch body shapes and then burst them up, but I draw the clothes immediately. It makes things look flubbery and free and fun to me. Sixth thing, but not really a thing, is that I'm dumb. And either never flip the canvas or always flip it at the very end. I keep my lines very round and basic, so it's usually quite easy to fix if something is off and wonky looking, like an eye up in the air and the other eye down in the dumps. Yeah. And we are dun 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 dun. I definitely gotta work on my transition editing skills with collabs like that, but me being a YouTuber will forever be a work in progress, so I hope you were able to get the magic that I find sketching to be, at least a little bit, because everyone has their own little spin to it, and it's so fun, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!